What's up, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back today playing some more Battle Brothers on our Company Origins Dirty Peasants Let's Play. And I think we're about to fight some Reavers, if I remember correctly. I switched up a little bit of gear. We are not in the best of shape. Who's the most hurt, so I can kind of keep an eye on them? It looks like maybe it's Lyria. No. Also, yeah, Halston's not doing so hot. His armor is mostly what's destroyed. Other than that, though, we're pretty okay. And you know what? That's something that needed to happen. He should already have quick hands. Why didn't I give this guy quick hands? Did I have other plans for him? I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's fight some Reavers, and we can talk plenty in just a bit. Let's drag the barbarians into this. Nice. Nice. Fight those caravan hands, man. Not me. Of course, it puts us on a hill. At least we're on the top of the hill. But look at these throwing weapons. Yeah, we're going to have to close the gap on this guy. Otherwise, we're going to get huge axes to the face. Okay. I think we're going to go 4 bros down. Maybe even a little more than that. We're not starting off so hot, guys. Alright, I'll take that. Okay, a little bit of damage to the armor. Best thing about these guys is that they're not heavily armored. Okay. We're going to super whiff. Probably should have kept out my throwing axes, but we have quick hands, so it's not a big deal. Let's come over here and post up. We're going to focus him, and we're going to focus him. Surprised he stepped forward, but without a helmet, maybe the AI will figure he's an easier target and go for him instead of us. Oh, they have a harpoon. Oh, no. Or a throwing spear. Looks like a harpoon. And that destroyed my shield. Alright, well done. Thankfully, we dodged all of those attacks. Shield protected us there. Alright, good men with knives. They're joining the fight. And we might just have to shield wall here with Lyria. Yeah, and they did go after him. Perfect. Big hit to the head. It's tempting to attack. We might attack after. Man, we missed 231%. Feels Batman. Let's jump in here. Okay, that one landed. Good. Alright, at this point I was kind of hoping to already have had multiple kills. And with my luck, the AI is just straight up going to take these kills from me. We'll shield wall here. We don't want to get smacked in the face by that big hammer. Nice. So we can afford to put a shot on that dude. Can't step in with Magnus, sadly. But if they want to keep funneling into this little ground here, we can do that. We can play that game. But I feel like these two are going to want to come around. Come on, land something. As long as they don't take my kills and get my gear. That was bad because it made them confident, but also took away his best target for us. Oh, wow, never mind. Just put him in the dirt. Okay, let's step up. Jesus, the brutality. Okay, that made me rethink my life choices a little bit. Let's get behind him. He's a sturdy lad. I had things I wanted to talk about, but this is proving to be quite the intense battle. Can we break this guy? I don't know. Man, I don't want to jump in on him like this, but I think we're gonna have to. The problem is we don't have a lot of throwing axes. Yeah, we're already out. So going on the low ground is super risky. And I wanted to save room for our archer slash billman. Oh, an adrenaline, no. Watch, Lyria's dead. Calling it now. His use of adrenaline is going to let him go first, and then he's going to get that kill. So with no shield, we do a ton of damage. Dual wielding the Scramasax. Here she goes. Oh no, went for the caravan hand again. And then he bleeds out. Man, they have really been taking those hits for us like champs. Triples around here and we still couldn't hit. Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of that. Okay, down they go. And we can come in for some more support. I don't think we'll attack with Lyria. But we may need her. It's funny to say her. It's funny to say her in this game because it's just not really a thing. The guy on the low ground is the first one to land the hit. Good job, Werner. But yeah, we may need her to finish up some sort of surround, perhaps to break these guys. But this is dangerous. This axe plus that hammer, like they've got to go. We have to weather one more turn of brutality. Alright, he went for the shield. Very good. That's perfect for us. Okay. He lost his confidence. We cut his artery. Good. We're going to wait here. Maybe she can be the finishing blow. Very good. Alright, man. And one of the best things is that the AI is not here to take my gear. Went for a decapitation. He's not quite low enough, I don't think. I don't think we would have gotten it. But maybe it was a close thing. So now we have a 4-man surround. We have our archer and we have Burke here. And we can also get we Nilly in next turn. May be able to swing. I don't think so. But this is the danger, is that he could do a round swing. But I was betting on the fact that he would be low on fatigue and wouldn't be able to do that. He may have been able to. And down he goes with the decapitation. We didn't level, but did we get the hammer? We did! The two-handed skull hammer. Pretty sweet weapon this early on. The effectiveness against armor by itself is priceless. We also picked up some of these super heavy crude metal helmets, which we wanted. Even this leather helmet, I mean, look at it. It's honestly not that much worse than the metal helmets. That's the kind of fight we needed. Thank you, Reavers. And they're going to give us some tools to repair our gear. Unfortunately, they did take out a shield. But we have some of these busted wooden ones that we could use, these old ones, in the meantime. Or we can just make that character who... Let's actually look. Someone's going to use that hammer. So someone's not going to need a shield in a second. So he's going to end up being... Yeah, it might just be Sigurd. He would make an amazing taunt character, but he also would make an amazing two-handed bro. He's already got good HP. His resolve isn't bad. You know, considering that we're working with peasants here, I could very easily see him making the cut. And just like that, you know, we can hook him up. But one of these crude axes, let's see what the stats look like compared to like the hand axes. So Durability, of course, not a huge deal. These are way more durable. 30 to 45 versus 30 to 40. Okay, so it's a bit worse there. 40 to 120. Okay, so it loses out a good bit, the hand axe does, and armor piercing damage. But it's also a little bit lighter. So once again, very comparable. The cleaver is also super comparable to the Scramasax. So I could see them being very... I think it would be very fair to say that they are completely interchangeable. It depends on what's your biggest problem. If your biggest problem is fatigue, and you just want that little bit of extra DPS, then go with the standard versions. But if you can take the hit to fatigue and you're dealing with a lot of armor, go for the barbarians. So I think that's what I would think. All right, Ulvar, you get that helmet. Sigurd's going to get that one. We need to give somebody... Somebody's got to get that. Lyria, you can have that. Our front line is getting there, guys. You know what? We need to do this because we need to have maximum visibility on our archer. These are 50 apiece. What is this? 40. Yeah, bear hats for you. And this is probably better than something we have in the front line. Yeah, we need our frontliners to have the best helmets we can. These are also only 80. Bear hats are 50. Man, I want to use this axe hammer though. Such a good weapon versus armor. Someone's going to use that. Fortunately, Lyria's melee skill is so low. Whatever. You can use the axe hammer. Be the stuff of legend. You know what? Nah, that's terrible. Ulvar can do that. Whoop, let's do this. There we go. And we can always sell off all the excess junk weapons. But that was a nice little battle. The only thing left here is the cart, funny enough. I wish we would just come and take it. Can't, though. Just like, give me your goods. So where were we headed? We were headed down to Edelwald. I would pretty happily take another fight like that. Just a couple Reavers that we could, easily manage with our numbers. Let's go to Jimmenscott first. We're out of tools. We're also out of money. But tools here are quite cheap. And the prices here for selling are pretty good. So we're using our old bear hat strategy. Let's get rid of this feathered cap, straw hat nonsense. The prices here aren't great, guys, but they're also not terrible. We can sell off some of the smaller stuff just to make sure we have money. Because we're going to need to buy that. That puts us down to 2 days. Let's sell one of these two. One of these. One of these. Okay. And that gives us enough reserve weapons just in case we need them. That gives us quite a bit of wiggle room with our crowns. And as always, whenever I start getting a little bit of money in the early game, I start looking at things I want to buy. Like I would love to get this basic male shirt. Can't do it though. Would also really like to get this male coif. That I probably could afford. But it's only a minor upgrade at this point for anyone. I mean, it would be like a decent little upgrade for here. But once we start killing the right types of enemies, we won't even look twice at a male coif. We just need to kill a few more raiders and things. Anyway, let's move on. Whoa, what did that say? Got their hands on something real fancy and sharp. A bunch of ne'er-do-wells. That sounds like a legendary weapon location. Let's also check the hiring pool here. The crawler. And the humble. Do we not have a miner already? Yeah, we do. Okay. I want to get a lot of diverse backgrounds in this group. So like a brawler would be cool. This guy is very cheap, but his wages per day are pretty high. And we don't really have the gear to hook him up. You know what, let's hire him on the off chance that he's good. And what do we get? He's athletic, that's great, and he's brave. He's got 3 stars in resolve, pretty worthless. I think we already have Kalki, who is looking to possibly make up our sergeant role. But he doesn't have to. I mean, he's only at 49 right now, and he's already at 45. We'll put him in here as like a rear guard, but like without real armor, I can't actually let him fight. But that's not a bad pickup. Let me look at his stats just a little bit better. Decent melee skill. I mean, athletic is amazing. This guy is good. This guy is not bad for a basic level guy, and +5 resolve and brave. That's a good pickup. I'm happy about that. That's a solid bro. Was there any cheap gear we could get for him? I mean, we could just put him in like a padded surcoat. He's good enough that I think he's worth the tiny investment of putting him in a slightly better jacket, you know, so that he can potentially survive an upcoming fight. Okay, I'm cool with that. Yeah, good bros like that, we don't want them to die if we don't have to. We have to accept the fact that he's cheap, and that if he does die, it's not the end of the world. Let's go deliver this to Edelwald first. So I'm eager to see if maybe we can find the area to the west that they're speaking of. Maybe it's as close as here-ish. Not sure we're even strong enough to take on anything. Man, there's something out here. Let's just finish our quest. We also need a lot more tools. So this place has a lumber camp, a gatherer's hut. It's got a lot of different things. Ooh, and a 2-skull contract. Let's look at it. 4 days of traveling. I'll need some time to think about this. I don't know where that place is, but I'm sure it's very far. All the way down here, which means they're going to want to follow the road. So either there's a road that comes here that I can't see, which I don't think is the case, because usually you can see all the roads. I think you go all the way up and around, and then down to Hochberg. That's not worth it. That is not worth it at all. Actually, I mean, in pure game days, it's worth it, because we only pay out 145 crowns a day now. So 4 days, 4 times 145, we're still coming out ahead. Plus any money we're making off the heads, plus experience and loot that we get. So it is worth it, especially if they're also feeding us, as long as our rations don't decay. I would love a fight, another like barbarian fight or raider or something like that. That's how we're going to get our best gear. Man, the prices here suck. Let's keep buying grains. Nice hunting bow. Quality wood, I see that. We're going to buy that and sell this. And we got to leave this place. It's not a good place for us to make money. We need to get back into this kind of triangular area here. That way we can really survive the early game. And I'm super curious what's marching around in the woods. Okay, that's a fight we can take. It's annoying to fight poachers when you don't have, excellent missile defense this early in the game. But we can just kind of rush them, I think. As long as we don't take too many bad hits. And the trees will give us a lot of cover. So if you got to fight poachers early game, fight them in the trees. Is there... What's the matter? I thought it looked like I could make it there, but I guess not. Halston will land a shot one day. Have no fear. I want to get some people up and around. And we're just going to try and push right through the center. Check out how badass Sigurd looks. Truly a god among men. Poor peasants don't do very well traveling over all this rough forest ground. We should just carve through them. Sadly, I don't see anything that I want. I mean, this guy's armor is not bad. I think that's like a straight up Gambison, 70 armor. That would be better than the sheer coat we just bought. His helmet's also okay. But that's it. Everything else is trash. It'd be nice to get another, you know, bow with a quiver. That would be kind of cool. Just to have for whenever we get the chance to make another archer. Because we are going to want one eventually. That was beautiful. Are we going to get to kill someone with this big hammer? In our barbarian playthrough, one of my biggest regrets was that the game shook out the way it did, in that we had to spend so long in one tiny area of the game because of the way our campaign was. The fact that 2 of the houses hated us and the one that liked us was a southern house with 3 cities. I mean, it was just super bad luck. So we never got a chance to really get the benefits from, you know, doing all the different northern content in the early game. So by the time we were getting gear from barbarians, it was like trash tier stuff that we didn't want. Which sucks. Because it was all really cool and I wanted to use it. Oh my god. Something about killing a dude with a big hammer is so satisfying. It's probably why I play dwarves and Warhammer so much. Just want to make sure they don't get away. Looks like he's also got a dagger. That would be nice. It's a tier 2 knife, essentially, if you're not familiar with that. It's usually pretty good in the early game for every single character to have a knife, especially archers. It doesn't weigh anything. If your weapon ever breaks, you have a backup. That's kind of part of it. We're not going to use the net. Or, you know, more likely, if you ever come across a unique enemy with a nice set of armor that you don't want to destroy, you can whip out your daggers and use the puncture abilities on the daggers. Yeah, we'll send Lyria around. We need to get in on these dudes. They're a big chunk of experience that I don't want to let go. Come on, man. You got the high ground. He's wearing a t-shirt. Kiriko, guys. You're making me look like an idiot. Alright, decapitation. We probably didn't destroy his gear. Super annoying, because we wanted him to stand up on the high ground, and then for him to jump in and fight this guy. And we were going to use Werner's throwing axes. Alright, keep going, let's go. Now what I'm anticipating happening is these guys are just going to run, I have to imagine. Ow. Now if he gets shot or something, he's in trouble. Halston continues his streak. Alright, let's get on to this guy. Make sure he's not shooting anything at us. 4 attacks in a row, Werner. 4, buddy. Unacceptable. We could have netted him and lowered his stats and then probably easily killed him. But we shouldn't have to do that. That's crazy. And now I'm actually worried a bit about Burke, because that hatchet is a serious weapon. And we weren't even able to hurt this guy last turn. I mean, that's ridiculous. Jesus. Thank you. Get your revenge. Live. Let's see if we can catch these guys. We don't have any dogs yet. Not that it helped us much in our last campaign. We lost our dog in our first fight, I think. Granted, it was a tough fight, and I think we may have needed the dog, but still. So satisfying. That's 5 hits. Warner hasn't landed. This is where I start to wish I had adrenaline still. So we could go before all these guys. It really negates the one biggest benefit of playing lightly armored characters. It's like, yeah, I see that you're very light and that your initiative is very high, but I used adrenaline, so I get to go first. Yeah, I don't think we're going to catch him. Sad. That's the one person I really wanted to catch. If Warner died to this guy, I wouldn't even be mad. I would just be like, well, you kind of deserve that, buddy. You can't miss that many attacks. I wanted this bow, and I wanted the extra quiver. It's kind of the only real things I wanted. Alright. Warner, you have no reason to celebrate. You failed me utterly. From the high ground, he failed. That just makes it so much worse. Surprised they haven't actively given up yet. Because I can't catch them. So we'll just end the round. It'll probably give me the option to let them go. Yeah, it's over. I cannot catch them. We got a level on Ulvar, cool. And we did. We got the blotched Gambison. It is 70, like I thought. We picked up some spare shields. And nice, we did get a short bow and a quiver. I think the guy who pulled out a hatchet also had a bow. And a stack of gold, too. Not to be underestimated, 185 gold. That's as much as some of our little dinky quests have been paying out. But Ulvar gets to come over here. He's got his quick hands. Let's give him Shield Expert. I wanted every single one of my brothers in the front line to have Shield Expert. I'll take the Fatigue roll there. I'll take a 3 there. And because this is a 1, I think we'll just take a Resolve here. Get him closer to that 50 mark and then probably never pump it again. I can't see trying to get more than 50 Resolve on in this like type of low budget peasant build. It's just not going to work. Save the points. Maximize lots of other things. Taking a second here to... Ooh, what, girl? We found it. I can't believe that. The ship is wrecked amongst the trees, some of which have long since started to grow through it. As far as you're aware, there is neither sea nor river for miles. Lyria walks up and halts at the very sight. By the old gods, is that a ship? You sigh and tell the company to stay here while you and the very observant sellsword go to take a look. Let's see what secrets are inside. I already know. You step into the bowels of the ship. It's completely vacant save for a stump with an axe head chopped into it. Lyria looks at it. There's an axe head. Nodding, you say, there it is indeed, but the metal of it carries veins of a sort of golden hue. Getting closer to the stump, you can see embers flittering upward out of the wedge. Lyria taps your shoulder and you find him pointing into the dark of the ship. Excuse me, Lyria is the lady. Skeleton. Dead one. Just faintly, you can see the pale bones. As you draw near, the clothing becomes apparent and readily obvious as royal attire. There is a cracked ale horn in one hand and a molded loaf of bread in the other. His jacket is blown open and shredded by splinters. Upon closer inspection, some of the wood is embedded into his brain pan. Inspect the stump. Seeing as how the skeleton and his beer and bread ain't going anywhere, you leave it be. The axe head, however, draws your eye again. Lyria walks over to the stump in the glowing wedge. She tries to take it out, finding no luck there. She steps back and kicks it further in. The trunk cracks in twain, and the sellsword suddenly flies upside down, and the axe head shoots through the roof of the boat, and you can hear it clunk and clatter down its sides outside. Debris and smoke drift lazily about. The sellsword gets up and pats himself off. What in all the hells was that? You shush him and point. A little golden goose squats where the stump's base used to be. The sheen of its metal glows and swirls. You've heard stories of a golden goose, but never thought there were anything beyond that. Is it real? Lyria stumbles forward. Sir, what are you doing? You wave her off and pick the golden goose up. Holding it in both hands, it feels oddly warm, and it isn't exploding or melting your face. Nice. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Check. You can feel its metal rippling ever so slightly against your fingers. It might even be growing. With the treasure safely huddled beneath your elbow, you wonder why the skeleton didn't fare better. Lyria walks up and touches the golden goose on the head, but quickly recoils. You ask if it burned her. The sellsword purses her lips. Really, sir, was it not obvious? He sticks his finger in his mouth. You tell him to not be so snappy with his commander, or her commander. I'm trying my best, guys. Or you'll throw the goose at her and see if it makes short work of her as it did the skeleton. The woman shrugs. Man, that was a lot. Oh, look at the man chosen by a shiny bauble. Put a blade beneath a wing so it can knight ye. Or hells, why not put it on your head and call yourself king already? We are the king. The incorrect king, perhaps, but we are the king. You look down at the goose. A drop of red blood runs down its length, turns gold, and drops to the ground with a tiny plink. You pick it up and bite it. The gold smushes satisfyingly in your teeth, and you then throw it to Lyria. It does not burn her this time, and you realize you may have found the genuine golden goose from the tales. The tales tell true. Guys, this is an incredible thing. Burke no longer suffers from exposed ribs. That's awesome. Burke enters your tent and flashes his wound, or what's left of it. The garish thing has seemingly healed entirely. The mercenary looks at you with a giddy smile. They'll have to try harder to take me out of this world, Captain. Alright, so 2 good news in 1. Guys, if you don't know what the golden goose is, it's an amazing pickup this early in the game. I managed to find it super early on in my last playthrough as well, and I think I ended up selling it pretty early as well for like an ungodly amount. The town that I was in had just a vortex of correct circumstance where it was worth, I don't know, like 4,200 or something like that. And at that point in the game, I was gold starved, and it was just made perfect sense, right? I don't know if we'll sell it this time. If you keep it for, you know, a playthrough that's several hundred days long, like let's say you're going for, like I think our last playthrough ended up being about 500, maybe even 600 days once it was completely done with. I think so. So you could easily see how 600 times 15 crowns a day, and then you sell it, and you make like 10 grand off the thing, right? But if you have to get rid of it, don't be scared to dump it. 15 crowns a day is barely enough to pay the wages of certain men. You know, it's not much. You have to hold on to it for a long time. It's like winning the lottery and not taking the instant payout. But what a lucky thing. I was kind of just going off into the woods just to try and get a little more vision. Oh man, we want to get in on this. If we can. There's a raider here, potential for some sort of gear upgrade, and just straight up some potential for experience, easy experience, while they fight that company, who will no doubt slaughter them. We don't have to worry about them. We might be able to swoop in here. This guy's got an arming sword, mail, and a helmet that we want. Okay, we forgot to hook him up with the shield and the better armor, but we'll get him soon. But what a lucky find. That's awesome. That totally turns this early game on its head. We have so many options now. Like if we go back to Thal, our home base city, and we can sell that thing for like 4,500. I mean, that just the sky's the limit, right? We can fill out our company with whatever we want. We can buy tons of different gear, get ourselves like in full raider gear, and then from that point, I don't know how anyone stops us. Our biggest weakness right now is that we don't have enough archers, and I haven't seen a place yet, I don't think, that specializes in like poachers and hunters. I think we can get hunters. I'm not 100% on that. To me, that sounds like a pretty peasant vocation. It's not a knight or a nobleman or something like that. It's not a professional soldier, in other words. But yeah, if we could get up to 16 men in this group, let's say we're at 11 right now, we could make the last 5 archers, or crossbowmen, or whatever the case may be. Really what we need is crossbows for our brothers that are currently using ranged weaponry but suck with it. Crossbows, of course, giving you a little bit of a bonus to your accuracy. This is the guy we want to kill, though. And if we can get to him and kill him first, I'll take any one of the 3 things he's currently using. Sadly, we can't get any of this gear. Not that we could kill those dudes even if we wanted to. In our last campaign, though, guys, if you didn't watch that, like, we were monsters. We were barbarian beasts, and we raided so many caravans with these guys, and we picked up all the sweetest gear super early. Like, we skipped Raider tier and went straight into, like, Footman, Billman tier. We had all kite shields, all tier 2 weapons and up. Kind of like we were in, like, the 2.5, like, arming sword I would consider, like, a 2.5. So you've got, like, short sword would be, like, a tier 1 sword, with a falchion being, like, a tier 2-ish, right? And then arming sword is somewhere in between a falchion and a noble sword. So, like, we were in that complete tier. We had bill hooks. We had flat tops with mail. I mean, it was glorious. We even picked up early crossbows. They have an arblister. They can't lose. Ooh, the riposte. That'll be pretty nasty. They've got some war dogs on the field. Whoa, buddy. That was extremely helpful, but if he'd have taken my kill, I'd have been a little upset about that. And he wants to run. Can run right into my arms. Almost just started singing Creed. With arms wide open. Nobody wants me to sing, guys. Nobody. I was just scared. If he whiffed there and hit one of my brothers, he could have very easily killed him. So we want to close the distance. We want him to survive this barrage. But he's going to try and run. And he's... Actually, no, he won't try... Damn it. Damn it. I was going to say he won't try and run because he already acted. He would have tried to run next turn. We had a chance, but we were too slow. That's alright. We'll pick up a few kills. Not a total waste of time. Little bit of experience for our bros. Perhaps a small amount of gear that we can sell. I love how it's been like forever, but people still get confused as to whether or not you can loot the corpses of these dudes, and you certainly cannot. Otherwise, I'd be looking to join every single fight I saw, and waiting for them to die, and then swooping in and cleaning up everyone's goods. Sadly, that is not a thing. It was kind of cheesy. It makes sense, like why wouldn't you pick up all the gear? But it also makes sense that if they survive, that they would gather their own gear. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't just leave it behind for us to pick up. Can we get this kill? Not if we miss. Alright, we laid the groundwork for them to come in and steal the kill from us. Yep. There it is. Beautiful. Now we just kind of have to wait for them to kill them. We're probably not going to be able to get these. Yeah, just please quickly finish them off so we don't have to sit here. We'll just end the round. They've got this covered. They've got arming swords and military picks. Oh, there was another guy in the bushes, eh? I wasn't even looking at the count. Jesus. It's over. We don't get the experience, so we don't care. And yeah, I mean, 74 crowns, plus some food it spoils soon, but we'll probably eat that first, I guess, yeah. That was worth. That was worth. Worth our time and worth our effort. So before I forget again, let's go ahead and hook our boy up. That's much better. And now he's actually quality enough to stand on the front lines. What is this? That's 45. Okay. And he sucks so bad, I almost just want to do this. Like, he just doesn't hit shots. Let's explore a little bit into the woods. I don't want to try and clear this whole big fog of war today. But we've got nothing to do. We want to go back to Thal. So instead of stopping back by Gemmenstadt, which didn't really have much for us. And it's nice in daytime, so we'll get up here. A plethora of auxiliaries. We don't really want to mess with a plethora of auxiliaries. If it was a smaller number, I would happily go and bash them. We have pretty good weapons for killing them. Mainly the axes. Skirmish axe is not great, because they don't bleed, of course. And it's more of a slashing weapon than it is like a beating one. There might be some thralls here. Yes, let's go and kill these thralls. No, don't you take my thralls. Alright. Alright. Hopefully we don't regret this. We could have used those other dudes for backup, but I think we could take 9 thralls. Big goal here would be to get some more throwing weapons. That's kind of why I want to farm these dudes. Their gear is not worth much. We don't want their crew throwing weapons, but these here would be great. And we're going to make a nice little position here. We'll no doubt make another one there. It's all about how much do we want to move in, and I'm not sure we want to move all the way in yet. But if we move in, he has to switch weapons. Yeah. Yes, and we cut his artery. Might be able to get the kill if we don't whiff. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, happy to land one. That's why I love it. That's an early game killer, guys. Let's get more bros in the right places. So there's 3 here and 4 here, so we'll prioritize this fight up here. We didn't step in, obviously, to a triple surround. That seemed like a bad idea. And we're going to go around on this guy and see if we can't smash him with the axe. We're going to step in here. So now we've got a triple surround on that thrall, a double surround here. Yeah, looking good. Barring any unforeseen hard hits and lucky shots, I think we're okay. A little casual bleeding. Come on, Sigurd. I have so much faith in Sigurd. Awesome. Get wrecked. Let's go in for those better surrounds. And we will pull out the axe hammer and let that work. Big damage. Fractured ribs. Super bleeds. That's a dead man. Okay, exposed his ribs. Need to get everybody into range for next turn. We're not out of the danger zone yet. Someone could still get really hurt or dead. Still 4 of them? Yeah. Throwing weapons, you know, could always get lucky. Like that kind. If he'd hit us twice, that would have been pretty scary. We would have been worried about stepping in on him. Alright, switch to the bear claw. Could have completely waited there until we got a better surround for a higher chance to hit. It's not super necessary. And the fact that he's scared is fine. Can we get another one shot? No, we whiff. We're using a lot of ammunition on those throwing axes, and we're not actually hitting a ton. So it may not be worth it, but it's still fun. And I stand by my fun decisions. Obviously, this guy's not a danger. We're just surrounding him for expediency's sake. When the time comes to get the kill, we'll make sure we get the kill. Damn. Sigurd, man. He took a beating for us this time. Wolfram got a level. Nice. Happy to see that. And we did pick up another set of throwing axes. Sadly, nowhere near enough tools to cover our costs. But medical supplies, yeah. It's all good stuff. If I could pull those guys into that location there to help me fight some unholds, that would be pretty sweet. Take a 3. Wow. Aren't the best rolls. Take a 3 there. They're not terrible. I think Wolfram might be our sergeant if he lasts. But you need to come in the back. Just in case we come across another fight. This might be the place where the unique weapon is. Or it could be way out here. Because when the game says west, west means west. As long as it's west of this city, it can count. I've had those type of mysterious directions be very off before. We're going to camp out. We've got food. We've got gold for once. Okay, and a mission. So, rich veins. Some lucky miners struck a particularly rich vein. Extraction of minerals and metals will be greatly increased until it's exhausted, but the settlement also experiences an inflation of prices. Oh no, that's bad for us. They still love us, so the prices are actually great. Buy 2 stacks of tools here. That's nice. Yeah, the goose is worth a fortune. Yeah, everything here is still good. We're still good to sell. We want to hold some things in reserve, as we said. Backup armors and things. But yeah, without that gem thing, maybe it would be as high as like 4K right now. And we'd be like licking our chops, waiting to see if it was a good time to sell it. Because what we can do now... Yeah, I guess at this point we need to start looking at more like the leather lamellar, or even the basic male shirts if we can afford it. So like this is a point where you got to ask yourself, you know, I could sell this, buy 2 male shirts, or this male shirt, some basic male shirts, a male hauberk even maybe, or leather scale armor. Like I could really outfit my front line with some decent armor, which is kind of the biggest thing to me. But it's not, I don't think it's quite worth. I want that shirt though, or one of these male shirts. Because we still have a brother who's currently wearing animal hide. That's wee nilly. You know what, let's see what this contract is. Caravan guard. Let's go. That's where I kind of wanted to go anyway, so we're going to go up there and explore. And we're not quite at an hour yet for today, but I think I'm going to call it in a minute. I'm headed over to it just opened actually, a Games Workshop store today to pick up the new White Dwarf, so that way I can unlock Gotrek and Felix in my Empire campaigns that I'm looking to do. I think I talked about this in my Darkest Dungeon video that I released today, but basically I just don't want to spend a ton of extra money and time waiting for it. So I'm just going to go and visit a Games Workshop or store. It's a pretty cool LGS from what I can see online, so it's always nice to support them in person. A lot of times it's way cheaper for me to buy certain things online, especially when I collected like Magic the Gathering cards or man, all kinds of stuff. But when I discovered my local LGS, I made friends with the owner, and man, this is kind of a, I don't know if this is shady or not. I'm not going to tell you where it was, but there's an LGS on a military base close to where I live, where I made good friends with the owner, and he would buy like packs of Magic. He would buy boxes of Magic the Gathering cards, not be able to sell them all because it's a small on-base store, and then he would be able to sell me packs of cards for like $1 a piece, which normally the MSRP on those things are like $3 or whatever. But I mean, that's a good deal. I could just turn around and sell them for $2 a piece on the internet and still make double my money, you know. But those types of relationships you can't get online. So I'm going to hopefully make some new friends at the Games Workshop. I might buy a miniature. I've been kind of getting the urge to paint. I'm not super craftsy. I'm pretty handy when it comes to like handyman stuff. And I'm not saying I'm bad at making crafts. I've done crafts all different types. My wife is big into crafts, so that means I'm kind of big into crafts, I guess. But like I would like to find like one really cool, perhaps Warhammer Fantasy themed miniature that maybe they still sell those. I don't know. I'm gonna go see what they have. Maybe get a Space Marine or something. I'm really into 40k too. I love the lore on 40k. What lore there is that isn't super inflated. But I've always played the Dawn of War games. The RTSs were my favorite. A buddy of mine bought me Battlefleet Gothica, and I basically just did the tutorial and the first mission and had a blast. Where do you need me to go? Back to Idlewold? I don't hate that, because we could kind of take this route again and maybe find some dudes in the wild to fight. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, y'all, I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.